So welcome to Sunset Stitches, everybody. My name is Trevor Conquergood, and here with me in the studio is my kid Loren Conquergood. Hi, Loren.
Hello.
And so welcome everybody who is joining us today for this special presentation of uh, DiGi-Talk. And so I like to digitize and chat a little bit. And so I've got Loren in the house with me today. And so if you guys join us, go ahead and say hi from, I guess, wherever you're joining from. So hi, Robin. How's it going in Southern, where? California. Nice. And it's so great to see you guys today. Let me see here now. Today is going to be DigiTalk number 2. And sorry, I just got this got in my way. And so yeah, we're going to be doing some Spirograph embroidery designs today, you guys, as well as working on our Winnie the Pooh stuff. And I stitched out. Were you here last week when I was working on this design here? Because I stitched it out. And so I guess there's 3 of them now that we've done, right? Because these were the first 2 that I did. And anyways, I'm working on a 4th design today. And so I'm digitizing today, but Loren is here in the studio to hang out. Nicholas is also here in the studio. He is manning the controls over that way. And thank you, Nick, for helping. And so we're going to have some fun today. The Spirograph is just so cool, you guys. I mean, like, this is I can make this in 30 seconds. We could make a lot of these if I got started right now. But the stitch outs are just so amazing to look at, aren't they? And so we're going to have a lot of fun with Spirograph. It's actually because in my workshop 4, we have a challenge right now that's the Spirograph challenge. And everybody's welcome to join Workshop 4 if you want to be a member and you're not already. There's a discount code you can use. It's Trevor99. So if you want to join, you pay $99.97 and you can get all the past classes and, of course, all the future classes. And so currently we do a monthly challenge with FTC Workshop, and the current monthly challenge is the Spirograph challenge. Yeah. So I know that a lot of people are working on designs. I was visiting with one of our Floriani educators this week, Lori. Oh my goodness, the designs that she had showed me just blew me away. I'm not saying that mine aren't good or anything, because they're pretty awesome. Can you see the bird in that? Because that is actually the bird, and that's variegated thread. The variegated thread is so much fun. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do today, and yes. I will stop talking and let Loren talk. But I wanted to, before I get digitizing, I wanted to tell you guys about Loren, because they started digitizing here. Well, when did you start?
10 years ago.
Is it
over 10 years ago?
Loren has been digitizing for 10 years now, you guys. And so the 3rd generation in the Conquergood family, is a digitizer. Nicholas, of course, digitizes every day too. And so Loren has been, what have you been up to? They've been going to school, right? The last several years.
5 years.
Still finishing up that. I thought your pictures were next, but I have to tell them about the retreat first before I got a couple pictures of Loren's BFA show I want to show you guys. But before I do, huge news. If you're a member of Workshop number 2, that was the one that started in 2017, right? Because we did Workshop 1 in 2015. I think Workshop 2 is 2017, maybe something like that. Anyway, we're adding new classes, 3 new classes. The theme is going to be about shading and blending. And so this is a specific, the retreat has a specific theme. If you're a member of Workshop 2, then obviously there's no cost. If you're not a member of Workshop 2, you're certainly welcome to join. Send me an email. I can tell you all about it. But I'll even give you a discount coupon to join that one too. So just know that You're welcome to join it if you want to. So workshop 2 has got that. Now there's the DigiTalk, blah, blah, blah. These were the pictures from last week. And isn't that cute? The Winnie the Pooh sitting on the stump there in front of his campfire. Anyway, these are the Spirograph designs that I made for this week. So these are part of the download for DigiTalk Class 2. In fact, all of these are in the download for Class 2. I really like the variegated thread and how interesting it turns out, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what I wanted to tell you guys about, and that's why I was rushing through all that part, because the Wren just had their BFA show, and so there's the Wren and their mom. Actually, that's not your BFA show, right?
This one's part of a group sculpture
show.
So not the one on the left over my shoulder, rather the right. It's the one on the left.
It's there, right? That's
Yes.
Loren's piece in a group show, but that is Loren's mom.
Yeah, Lorna.
My wife, Lorna, and who is upstairs right now. She just got home from school.
Yes.
I'll have her as a guest sometime too to visit with me on here for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, and then there's me and Lorna, so that's I was at the show too there, and look at the cool lighting. How cool was that?
Yeah.
What a neat idea to have. Not only did Loren have black lighting, they turned on it. They were on, like, how did you do it? Tell them about it.
It wasn't quite a timer, but I could control the light to be the gallery lights or the black lights.
Right.
And
that's Loren's boyfriend.
Yes.
K-Man.
He's responsible for the black lights. He set them up and take them down and rented them. And yeah, it was really impressive what he added to the show.
Very nice. And my sister showed up because Molly, I thought it's so cute that Loren and Molly both got BFA shows at the same time. In fact, here's their, this is Molly's title card for her show, and that was Loren's. Loren's was called No Bones
About It.
No Bones About It.
There was some bone themes, but No Bones About It kind of just means there's no doubt. And so it was Loren's artwork. There's no bones about it.
Right. But so that's really cool.
That's them in the gallery lights.
The gallery, just in the gallery lights.
You can tell the pink is very different, and the circles are very different.
Yeah.
From the previous slides.
But I brought, so if I do this, Loren, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So how do I do this? Here it is. Sorry.
Right.
It's this, right? So I'll click show, and then it'll kind of play for a minute. But tell them what they're going to see.
This is the black light and gallery light switching back and forth, so you get to see the transition between the. It's a
painting. Yeah, it's on a painting, and then it changes. The lighting changes.
2-in-1 show.
Okay, here it is.
It's very.
It just totally. Did you guys catch that? Because I know it's kind of fast, and you can hear the noise in the gallery because it was a busy space. People come to the. It's a what is it called? A reception or something?
It's the end reception where you have cake and cookies and veggie trays.
Yeah, very nice. Anyways,
yeah.
What do you guys think of Loren? Is there any comments or questions and any chat going on in there? Anybody you think that's cool? Would you guys, Loren? Would you guys like to see some? Loren did something very interesting. It's how do you describe it? What is it?
Well,
it's a video.
It's called Selfie, and it's a self-portrait, which I try to attempt to capture more than a visual image of yourself. There's like a whole video collage of videos that Trevor took from when I was a little baby and taught swimming lessons all the way up until the present day when I made it. And it's actually been chosen to be part of the gallery art collection at the university.
Wow, so, that's awesome. For the University of Saskatchewan. So what she said was she used a bunch of videos that I took when she was a kid and then used them to make something new. And I wanted to show it to you guys. It's 3 minutes long. So stick around. We will be right here watching it with you, and we'll come right back when it's finished. Okay. So
yeah.
It's called Selfie, and Loren made it. It's pretty cool. So Loren, it's really cool how you took all those little pictures of you as a little kid and superimposed them over top of the clothes. Now, Loren made the clothes.
Yeah.
So she sewed the outfit.
Yeah. So the green garment.
Yeah, and they're green so that it's like a moving green screen.
Yeah. And it's audio you hear in the background. You probably all recognize that as a sewing machine.
Yeah.
And that was taken from when I sewed one of the cups. Sort of just meant to represent like the passing of time, and you know, there was all kinds of layers, like there's this moment in the spinning dress is slowed down because, you know, the present moment switches on forever, but all the memories are sped up. Not sped up, but played in regular time. Because they're all inside of you existing at the same time. In the present moment. Oh.
That's really cool.
Conceptual, pretty conceptual. Found out one of my cohorts was in my dance class. That blue video was from a dance class. I didn't know we were in dance class together until she saw the video.
She saw herself
and she said
at your show up on the projected up on the wall. This was big up on the wall.
Yeah.
And showed it. Yeah. Wow, it's so neat how the videos only play in just where your clothes were, the green screen part.
Yes.
Anyway. Do you get any comments, Nick? I can't see the some thumbs up.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Phyllis is here. Says congratulations.
Then a little older, 12, 13, becoming a young adult. Soccer.
Right. I know I was the coach.
Yeah, Trevor was the coach for every single year I played soccer. Looking back on this, I noticed so many funky hats. Funky hats were part of the 2000s. Apparently.
It's really fun. It's almost over, you guys, but what a cool video to see, and kind of creative way to use your sewing machine, right? To create a garment and then use it to make video. And anyway, it always got me going because, of course, for me, it's a little bit extra emotional because it's part of all of that. So
yeah, made some people. That's me at a Floriani event. That's me in the grocery store.
At a Floriani event.
Wow. Yeah, in 2020.
Yeah,
2020, February. And that's it. That's whole curtsy.
We'll come out. Here we are.
Here we are. Thank you
job,
so
Loren.
much for watching. It was
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me show it to.
Of course.
Because it's now forever on my Facebook there, my YouTube. So thank you guys for coming with us.
Steal it.
Well, it's out there. So now what we'll do, I think we'll go into the software, and I'm going to do, you can visit with me, Loren, but I want to show everybody what I've been working on. And so you saw the stitch out from last week, and I think you guys might have been, with me last week, right? When we did this. Is that where we go, Nick? Yeah, right there. Yeah. And so if I flip over to Floriani, this was the one that I was working on. I actually set up with my laptop because I was going to be doing Sketch-A-Stitch, and I didn't bring the laptop today. I just brought my desktop. So we're going to do, and the reason I say that is my desktop doesn't have that touch screen is all. My desktop's not, we're on a non-touch screen today, but the design I'm working on now is this one. And while I probably could have tried to use Sketch-A-Stitch to do it, I just find it so small, the stuff, that to me it just works better, if I just go click, 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 right? So I don't need, the point is I don't need my laptop for this one, I guess.
No, yes, it's very tricky to get those fine details.
Loren, you're the
corners.
and Loren is amazing with the sketch a stitch. So here I have to remember where I left off before I can get digitizing, but tell them a little bit about, I guess, Loren's been since school's kind of let out here. Oh, you know what's wrong? I have to go to my settings because there's a sketchbook. I want to see where the last stitch marker is. So there it is. That's where I left off. I couldn't remember, but now that the little black dot's there, all I have to do is go in and I always kind of, if I'm going to stop and leave something, I quite often take the stitch and like leave it not buried in the middle of something, like I'll find a spot where it's logical, right? Oh, okay, I've done down here. That's a very good tip. Apparently I need to do up there. And so
then you can work your way up the creek.
Yeah, I think I'll work my way up the top of the tree, the top of the creek, and then work my way back along this streak over to Rabbit's house kind of thing. Yeah. Do you know what I'm making this for? Can you guess?
Yeah. No.
Actually, probably I think everybody would like to know what I'm making these for. Right now, they're just going to DiGi-Talk. Like whoever's in my classes are getting them. If you're in my workshop for, I just been making the downloads for the DiGi-Talks. In fact, I'll show you guys. So thanks, Nick. Bring me big again. If you look when you're in the download for the first one, I put them in the library. So it'll say DiGi-Talk, and then folder 1 has those first 2 designs in it, right? So today's download, and if you're a member, you can go right now. This download is already available, has this, Winnie the Pooh design, just bring it on in. But it also has, 5 Spirograph designs that I made while getting ready for today. And so we're going to make some more here in just a moment. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just going to show, I hate when I have to do this, but I have to do this. So I'll go sunset stitches. There, I should have queued that up. So it's a little less hard on the eyes, I guess is the problem with that. But what I wanted to show you guys is that it's called DiGi-Talk, right? That's the name of today. So when you visit our website, and if you go to DiGi-Talk, here's the link for today's presentation that you're currently watching. But here's the link to get to last week, and you can watch the video. There's the link for the video. And if you're a member of either Workshop 4 or Trevor and Friends Embroidery Club Season 2, so this is like bonus, if you've been waiting, and Loren, they've been waiting for Season 2. So anybody who's in Season 2, we are super happy to say we're working on it. Anyway, you'll click here to go to the download page and download what I just showed you guys, which is that's the number 2. And there's a new one every week, right? Because this is a weekly class. So what am I going to do next week? And next week, that was the news, right? Was that Loren is going to come next week.
Yay!
And sketch for us. So she'll bring the laptop.
Yes.
And I'll do the talking, and Loren can do because apparently I do all the talking anyway. But
that's all right.
The irony is I live in a house full of talkers, and I'm usually the last one talking, or I'm usually hardly the one talking, or whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and start, and I'm not teaching; I'm just doing. So I should be able to kind of just click and click while we chat. But I enjoyed looking at your BFA stuff. But since then, maybe you want to tell these guys about the birds that you've been working on.
Yes.
Because that
the Japanese bird sketches.
Yeah, so talk up now because they're not gonna hear that.
The Japanese bird sketches, they're the last kind of working on the last batch of them for the Embroidery Club number 2.
Right, because there was like one every month, right?
Yeah, the downloads are coming up, and they're going to be chock full of things. Lots of fun things, including all the birds. Very excited for them. And getting back into digitizing the birds has helped me get into those flowers, the applique flower designs. Maybe I'll do one for you next week. I have lots of ideas for sketching.
Yeah.
That's my main embroidery.
Let me stop. Oh, look here. I'll leave it blue, then I'll know how much work I actually got done.
Yes.
Because so far we're half an hour. We're 20 minutes in and I just got to work.
Yeah.
I promise, you guys, when I bring a guest, I want to give the guest an opportunity to have some. I wanted to show some of that stuff at Loren's. But we'll try to get down to work from next week and get right into sketching, where's here I brought the flower. This will be like one of the designs that Loren made for next week. Cool. They're very soft when Loren does these thread sketches. They're
pretty light.
And
pretty light.
This is a whole alphabet that Loren.
Oh yes.
That won't be for DiGi-Talk. That's for the Embroidery Club, right?
Something I did.
There's the whole. She's stitched them all out. We got the whole alphabet. And
pretty good for monogram.
This is what Loren has been working on. Some beautiful birds. So good job, Loren. Well done.
Yeah.
So these are these are for 10, 11, and 12. If you don't know what we're talking about,
it's Embroidery Club.
Trevor and Friends Embroidery Club. There's season 1 and there's season 2, and season 2 is ongoing. And we kind of got stalled on it. It had nothing to do with Loren going to school. It's just weird timing that now that Loren's out of school and I'm able to get working back on it too. So we were on pause, for a little while, but there's 3 downloads left.
3 downloads.
Yeah, they're coming.
Coming out.
Still coming. Don't ask when, just say coming.
Soon.
Okay, that perfect. Yeah,
coming soon.
That's what I've been. A few people will say I've heard that before, but that's okay. But now there's new free stuff, right? Because you can get. So I'm going to go back full screen again, Nick, if you don't mind, and then I'll keep digitizing. But thanks for showing us those, Loren. Here for me, like I'm only zoomed in 190%, and really my comfort zone is
maximum 300.
Well,
when I design,
I like to go 6.
Okay, yeah, but you're doing nice lines,
but 6 is like my max. So see how I can I have a little wheel on my mouse, so I can that's 150, 3, 6. So that's kind of my range, because if I do it all at 150, my points aren't very accurate. Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Candy Hatch is wondering if you're using the artwork pencil and which line setting, pen, Bezier, arc, curve you're using.
Oh, good question, Candy. When I use the pencil, I typically use line, but if you're good with them all and you want to change them, I've been trying to warm up to the new one, the quick draw, but there was a couple things that seemed to be I don't know what the right word is. My brain
needs to be learned.
It's almost it's like learning a new language, right? It's like if you're already good at one, learning a new one, it works and you know how it works, but still it's like when you speak English and you're trying to learn French, and it's like it's work to do it in French.
I don't quite know the technical terms for the pen tool, but I often use the little pencil.
Yeah.
And then the littlest pencil size. So when you click on the Sketch-A-Stitch paintbrush.
Here, Nick, don't forget to remind me.
Cursor.
Put on the cursor.
The cursor.
There it is.
Because what we're talking about, Candy asked about the pencil, and there's like 5 or 6 different modes for drawing here. And I'm just using the basic one. When I do such little things like this, I don't even really worry about making them curves, because the majority of the little stitches I'm making are kind of like just the minimum stitch length. So they don't really kind of need to be rounded too much, especially when you work at 600%. So it's not that I won't use curves. It's just this drawing has so few places where it would really be an advantage, and if there was a place where I really wanted a long curving line, all I have to do is reach down with my left hand and hold the control key, and I can get these to be more of a curvy line anyways. The truth is, Candy, I'm just clicking. Literally, I just click on the pencil and clickety click kind of thing. And I decided what I would do is I would just do all the kind of lines of the roads or whatever. I guess this is like rivers, I think is what this actually is. And this is the waterway going through the 100-acre woods. And some lines I'm going to do 2 times. Some lines I'm going to do 3 times. Some lines I'm just going to do 1 time. And it would go way faster if I use the Sketch-a-Stitch. There's no doubt. But my points would be less accurate. I'm just like, and it mattered to me for whatever reason on these ones. I just want it to be more control, so it takes a little longer, right? Like I want to say last class I didn't really get, because it was the first DigiTalk, I didn't really get clicking again, kind of like today for a while. And even when I did, after watching it, I was like, I didn't click as much as I wanted to. I needed a guest to help me talk.
Yes.
Oh, here, I don't want to go this way. Backspace, backspace, backspace here.
Careful now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not, because it doesn't really matter. You can, some of the lines I'll go over them 4 times because some of them look darker than others, right? Like the trunk of the tree needs to be stronger than the branch or the ones on the outside. So some of the lines I'll go over 3-4 times, even if I feel that they need to be stronger, or some of them I'll wiggle back and forth. I didn't draw this, Loren. This is Mr. Shepard's drawing or whatever. I think last week I said it was Alfred Milne's drawing, but I should have known better because A.E. Milne wrote the book. He didn't do the illustrations, right? Yeah, it's like
different guy.
I think it's like Edward Shepard, or I forgot already, but I put it in. If anybody goes onto the page, for DigiTalk, I put links to the Wiki Commons where you can see all the pictures that I got, where I got them. You can see that they're not super great pictures. If you've got the actual book, you might be better off just to be taking pictures of the printed ones, because the ones I got off here weren't specifically great, but they're not horrible. I can work with them. But that said, I was trying to kind of go make it look like it, and the one that I did last week, I Sketch-a-Stitched it because the lines were very scribbly, but this one here seems a little more determined to me.
It's a very nice line drawing.
Yeah.
Andy was asking if you have any plans for the little tiny fonts that are on this artwork.
Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do, Candy, because I do. I've already started. You might have saw I showed Piglet's house. I think I did the word Piglet, but I decided that, and I think I started saying this, and then I got distracted. I'm gonna do the words after I do all the waterways is what they're. I keep want to calling them the roads. They're not roads. There's the road. That's the road right there. Because the road, of course, in the 100-acre woods, are footsteps, right? That's the footpaths that Winnie the Pooh and Piglet take to get to Eeyore's house and Owl's house and Christopher Robin's house. And so I'm just there. So I did a little bit so far. We added a little bit. But what I'm saying is I will also do these. So we'll figure out how to do some kind of a little foot trail, probably just like a little bit of a jiggity run stitch for those. See here, I did one here. So that's where I went kind of back and forth. Let me hide the stitches. So there's almost nothing to work with. It's like what I got so little. And oh my God, Loren. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Your mom is so good with this, and I know that you are too. I'm not, an artist per se. Like I consider myself an artist, but Candy, the answer is I'm going to do them like run stitches. And I did somewhere down here piglets, right? And a lot of times when I do run stitches like this, I'll try to do them. I was actually showing you this yesterday.
Yes.
Because I asked you the question, Loren, and I'm going to show you, Candy, how I make the lettering next. I asked you the question, Loren, why do you think I'm doing this? And you said, I don't know. And I said, I bet a lot of people want to know. I'm going to work on Winnie the Pooh for several weeks, and I may eventually make a quilt out of it all. That's kind of what I was thinking myself, but I'm sharing the designs with my members for now. But I want to do a postcard. Greetings from the 100-acre woods.
Hey, yes,
so
please.
that's why I'm doing this, like for a postcard, right? So we're going to make a postcard. But I was just showing Loren how to make postcards because I've got such a beautiful postcard collection, and I wanted Loren to help me do a few new ones. And so you made one. Do you want to grab it?
Yes.
It's like on the machine.
Oh, it's on the machine.
It's still on the machine.
Sandra is asking, if you make a mistake, how do you fix it?
Oh, that's a good question. Sandra says, if you make a mistake, how do you fix it?
You don't make a mistake. Just kidding.
Sometimes you get your markers out. No, I don't. It's super easy, Sandra, and I'll show you how. Because when I'm clicking, first of all, I can backspace. If I haven't hit enter and I'm still clicking, and I go clicking down the wrong road, and I'm like, oh, I look back and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Backspace, and it'll just, kind of undo what I did. But if I've already kind of like hit enter and I've made a shape, and I zoom out and it's like, oh, I forgot a piece, or I, missed a piece, or I want to add it, or I want to remove a piece because I don't like it, or my lines, or you can either use your shape tool to edit it. Okay, did you show them?
No.
Here, let's go full screen. Loren is currently
fixing a mistake.
Fussing it. Isn't it cute? She's working on a postcard. And we'll learn more about postcards another day. It's not for today, but it says Skeezen's greetings. Good job, Loren.
Well, and what I learned is how to do the line font, where you connect all your letters together.
Yes.
And then you walk down the word, and then you walk back up the word, and whatever you don't go over twice on the first time, go over again. It's optional, but he says it works better because
why?
Sometimes the machine's thread cuts too short, and you have to rethread it on every letter.
On paper, if it's on paper, yeah. If you're sewing on paper, sometimes the machine, when you start a new line, the thread will come unthreaded, and so it's a hassle. But even just in general, sewing run stitch letters where there's like 20 stitches and it stops and trims, or 10 stitches and it stops and trims, 10 stitches and it stops and trims, is very annoying to sew.
Like the piglet.
Yeah, so bring us full screen again, Nick, and we'll go back into the software. So, Candy, what I'm going to do for the letters is I'm going to come in and I'm going to do them like I did Piglet. Because if you use your ruler to measure, the whole word is only barely 3 millimeters tall.
Yeah. That
is like smaller than half my pinky finger. Like, it's a very small amount. And so I will take the same tool, right? I like to just go with the run stitch tool. And then I can start wherever you want me to. Here, let's start at the end of the E and go backwards. So I'll start here, hit here. Now, this is what I was saying to you, Loren, and you didn't understand what I was trying to describe it without something to visualize. I've come to the branch in the road, right? I can go down that you either decide to hit all the branches on the way to the end of the road, or you automatically walk as fast as you can to the end of the road, and then you catch all of the branches on the way home.
Yes.
So I went with the E, I caught all of the branches. I call these branches, they're not branches, but they're a fork in the road that you could take. And when you take it, you have to follow it back. So I get here and then I follow it back. And then when I move along and I didn't do the S, but I could have, right? I could have done the S. I could have done the rest of the U. I could have done the rest of the O. But the other way is leave it for the way home. So if I do it on the way home, then when I pick it up, so if I'm right there, I hit this way, and I catch all of the other pieces on the way home. You might notice that I don't make the O very round, but every time I pull my cursor, it kind of tells me how far I've pulled it.
Yeah.
And my minimum that I'll pull it is 1 millimeter, right? So if I'm pulling it, and like that's the 1 millimeter. So I kind of get a visual of how big that is. A tiny stitch, right? Nothing smaller than that will look good or so well. And so I'm going to try to make it look like the word house with kind of like as few points as possible. So there you go. I kind of did it, and then but I still walk all the way back to wherever I started
Yes.
to get it all being 2-ply. And since it's like meant to be little kids writing, it's perfect anyway, because how can you get it wrong, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's Candy. That's how I'm going to do the lettering, but I am going to do them at the end. So I thought what I would do, and I looked at it, was I'm going to do the sketching. So we'll start here at Piglet's house, and we'll sketch the water, and we'll hit the 100-acre woods here, and we'll do Owl's house and get on over to Christopher's house. But then we'll make our way over. We're heading over to Rabbit's house next, you guys. We're just about done here at Christopher's place. So, kind of fun. But I don't want to sketch. I'm going to save this, you guys, and keep working on it. I will, because I wanted to save some time for Spirograph.
Yay!
Because it's so fun and easy to do. So I will finish up the sketch and bring it to next week's class. But just know that's what I'm going to do. Click, 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 click. Mm-hmm. It's not hard to do. But it does take some thought, I will say, because we're not letting the computer do the thinking.
Yes.
Like I'm doing the clicking, right?
Absolutely.
But it's kind of like being the sewing machine in micro or in macro, or like, like you're like, oh, okay, now I'll go here and then there and here. And
yes.
When you use the runs here, let me just do a little bit more. When you use this tool, the click, 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 it doesn't really know, there's no rules, right? If I want to go to the left, it goes to the left. If I want to come back to the right, it'll follow me to the right. Yeah. It just like wherever I go, it kind of just follows along. And so I noticed here, I don't know if I have enough space to do these justice, but you might be able to help me with it. So why don't we work on this while I got you here? I'm just going to come back and just kind of figure out what I missed. I feel like I just need a little bit more. So I also like mine set to auto pan. I don't know. Do you auto pan, Loren? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Currently my software isn't set to auto pan, but that's not necessarily because I wouldn't use it. It's just not turned on. But right. Yeah, I have it.
It's like here in the settings. It's on environment. Mm-hmm. And it's enable auto scrolling is the correct word for it. And
sometimes it's quite helpful when you're working small.
Like if I get here, it just boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
And then I get here and it boop, 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 and it'll move for me, so I don't have to stop. So when I'm zoomed in like this, I can get really zoomed in and not have to worry about stopping to click, click, click. If I get close to the edge, it'll move for me. Some people don't like it, and that's why you can turn it off. This is supposed to be little chicks on a branch.
Oh, wow. But so small.
I don't know.
You just do the branch. Sometimes you have to edit out the cuteness.
And just to sort of see it.
You put bumps on the branch.
Yeah, like... I'm going to try and put them in there. They represent what was on the branch. How's that? That's what it'll be. Something like that, right? That's kind of cute. I mean, obviously you could put more, but the risk is you're just driving needle points into such a small area that they don't actually really sit up.
Yeah.
You don't see them,
Yeah. Sometimes if you make it too small, they get sucked into the paper hole that was made. I had troubles with my penguin's eye yesterday, and I edited it so the eye was much bigger.
Bigger, yeah, sure. Artistic license. That's what I was saying last week. It's like sometimes you just want to, it's like I don't want to respect the Winnie the Pooh artist, right, Mr. Shepherd, but at the same time, you want to make it look good in thread, right? What we're doing is not making a drawing, we're making a thread interpretation of a drawing. And so there.
Yeah.
So I think I've got my little birdies.
Birded.
Yeah, and I'll just walk on down the road, which is really a river. And although, you know, I'm gonna say, and I think one of the questions was how do you edit it, right? And so I did say that I can backspace, right? So if I'm like, oh, why did I go? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm gonna hit the backspace key on my keyboard, and I'm just taking points away.
Yeah.
And then what I'm gonna do is actually stop right there, right click, because I'm realizing I should stop right here because there's a little trail that I could get, right? Before I head on down the river, why not get on over to the bee tree? Remember the bee tree?
Yes.
With the balloon at the bee tree. You won't believe what I did last week, Lorraine.
What did
I
you
read,
do?
I got
You
the Winnie the
read
Pooh
Winnie the
book and I
Pooh?
read it.
Aw.
Yeah, was it embarrassing, Nick?
No.
He
It's
says no.
probably adorable.
Some of the people said it was nice. Okay. I'm gonna click save. We'll come back to this. I added a little bit today. I wanted to sketch a spirograph because it's so much fun, you guys. The literally, let's get started. So I'm gonna make a circle with a circle tool. And so if I use a circle tool, I get ellipse, right? And you can make you could use any of those ellipse. Or if I hold my control key down, I can get circles, and I can make a spirograph from any of these.
Yes.
The spirograph, it's not really spirograph. I think that's
It's
technically
spirograph
a
effect.
game, right? That you people, it's just inspired by the cool just imagery that we used to make when we did those. But it's our circle template. Yeah, you just, if you hit enough of them, if you put enough copies,
Yeah,
it
there
starts to spirograph, right? And
Yeah, that's
I'm doing
exactly
like
the-
48 on a lot of mine. So
Woo!
lots of copies, and then literally just boom, there you go. And then how big do you want it? I don't know. Let's set it in here at let's do a 3-inch version. So in inches, you just set it at 3 and hit enter. So now I've got this really cool kind of artwork. It's not embroidery yet. It's just
artwork.
Yeah, I just made a circle, right? Here, let's do another one. Let's try this one. And you do your circle. It's just putting it around a circle. Now here, because it's not a circle, angle matters, right? Because I can change the angle to be whatever angle kind of that would look good. And then it can even just get it to and that's kind of fun and all in itself just to have it dance for you. But but if I start putting more of them and then I start playing with the angles, interesting things will happen. And if you start to play with the size of them, and then seriously interesting things can start to happen.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, and it's like all this from one little kind of elliptical shape, all this can be done. And whenever you're just like, perfect, you click OK, and they might get big, but they're just artwork, and you can size them back down to a reasonable size that will fit in your embroidery hoops. So now you've got artwork, and we need to stitch it, right? Because there's no stitching here. And technically, this is like a whole series of shapes that were, it was one circle, but we made 48 copies of it, is what it is. But it's artwork. See, they all say artwork, 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 artwork. But if I select it and just click on run stitch, we're like halfway there now, right? Because it's almost done. I mean, you could sew it now, but I don't recommend. So I think it needs. I've learned some tips from doing this. I have some really good tips on getting this to sew perfectly because it looks awesome. Other than this, right?
Right.
That little line down the middle are the jumps because it goes run stitch, run stitch, run stitch, and it jumps to get from the next one to the next one, right? And I think a lot of people instinctually want to select this and they want to use our combine tool. And you can. I'm not saying not to, but I wouldn't. But you can, right? It'll combine it all into one shape. Look, it's all one thing now. That's easy. That was easy, Trevor. Yeah, I agree. That was easy, but watch it stitch out. It's like,
Whoa, that's weird.
it is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
I'm not sure that was so great.
well, as long as the fabric didn't shift, you know, but
Yes.
if any shifting happened, it might not line up real well. And if you use the variegated thread, it does quite a unique look because the variegateds are in
Yes.
all, like the lines get broken apart. So the point is, don't use that. Okay. So if you don't know what, I just clicked on the combine, and the opposite of that is called break apart. So if I break it back apart, we'll go back to where we started.
Yeah.
Okay. A ring, and which is back to ring, 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 and there's a jump in between each one. So the correct way to solve all this is to select all your parts of your design and use the optimize entry and exit point. So when I use optimize entry and exit point, the software figures out where to finish the first line so that it lines up to the second, and where to finish the second to line up to the third. And so if you watch it, so now it'll start wherever it started before. But notice now,
Wow.
yeah, each circle connects to the next circle.
Yes.
So that was like a huge, oh, that is easy too, right? It's easy. It's just a different button. It wasn't hard.
Yes.
You just got to get the right option. So not combine,
Yes.
optimize. It's right here. Entry, exit.
Yeah.
Anyone like, so let's do another one. Just grab this. So use my select tool, select that Spirograph, convert it to run stitch, and
Yeah.
observe that there's probably some kind of a jump.
Yeah, right there. We can see it.
You can, it's the dotted line, right? If you turn off 3D, you won't see it. You won't, it because it's not part of the design. But if you wanted to have it walk along this line and down to this line to start the next one, that's where you got to do what we're saying, this optimize up here, optimize entry exit. So it'll add a couple stitches. Like notice the whole design right now has about 3,181. And if I click on this button, that'll go up, 3,245. So it adds a few stitches to be able to, because what it'll do is it'll do the first ellipse and then a little extra to get to the next one. So when it finishes the first ellipse, it walks, that little extra bit to get to where the next one starts. So each one gets 1 ply plus a little bit of 2 ply. But that's not a rule, because just so you know, I can select all of these and make them all 2 plies, and it still works. It just does each one twice and then a little bit. So then they get 2 plus a little bit. It can either be single plus a little bit, or it could be double plus a little bit. Or if you want to really make them like juicy, you could make it a bean stitch, because then you would go, instead of in here is like single and double, but you could switch this to be a bean, and now it could be 3 ply, or I could do like a 5 ply one. So if you want to do like a large size Spirograph, and it's going to be like for the back of a jacket, then you might want to use a bean stitch, 5 ply bean, to make it nice and bold so that it really stands out on the back of your jacket. And that's what,
absolutely.
So a lot of the ones, if you don't mind, Nick, bring me big again. Like this one here has 48 rings around it.
Whoa.
And so I did single ply, right, in the one. And can you see the flaw in it? Can you guys see it? Like, who's the first person that can tell me that they can see in the purple and in the pink a little extra in the one spot? Can you see it, Nick? Yeah, like it's like right
there.
Where is that? Like right there, right? See that? I'll show you how to fix that too. Because I realized after I sewed one, I'm like, why did that one line look stronger? Oh, because I didn't pay attention, right? You can totally, thank you, Chris. God, somebody can say you can see it. But if you do it right, you won't see it. When I did the one bigger, like this one, this is just so cool. I want to like figure out what to sew it on for a garment. I did 48 circles, but then I did 12 red, 12 blue, 12 red, 12 blue kind of thing, so that they and they go together, and it makes just such a cool optical
flower.
And these are 2 plies because it's bigger, right? So with the bigger ones, so Marilyn says they got it too. So So
rainbow one.
I'm going to show you guys how to get, the rainbow one. Yeah. But the yellow part's kind of like it's almost like there's a gap in my ring. Hey, that's another whole nother thing we could do is just delete the yellow and make like the appearance of like a tube or something like that, right? If you got rid of the yellow, can you guys see it there? Like a slinky. It could be a slinky.
Yes.
Okay. So I was going to show you guys how to get rid of the line, that purple line, because I think that's important. So let's do it. Let's do that exact one. So I'm going to grab my circle tool and draw a perfect circle and select it. And I'm going to make copy. Sorry, I'm going to do a circle layout. And it'd be a lot of copy and pasting to do 48 of them. That's pretty a lot.
Holy moly.
So I'm just going to come in here and say I want 48 and click apply, right? And then I'm going to make their size bigger until they go past the center and out the other side. Do you see that? And maybe keeping it kind of like a small, see that? That just makes that whole cool effect that I just showed. So I say, okay. And then,
and it's big.
Yeah. And you can do them in colors. Like here, let me, I'm going to make this a different color and then move it to the beginning only because it's way easier to count, right? Because now I can go 1 to 12 is going to be, pink.
Mm-hmm.
And then 13 to 24. Thank you.
Yeah.
is going to be orange, or whatever you want. And then
those are pretty.
Is it pink and orange? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit
25 to 36.
36,
back to pink.
Back to orange or pink or a new color, whatever you want. And so
purple.
And now I can select that last one and do it in, I don't remember which one. This orange here. Yeah, that one. So, okay, so I've colored it all, but I haven't embroidered it yet, right? So we need to select everything and convert it into the run stitch. And we can do that, optimize entry and exit points. So the last little bit was the first run stitch. Because when you do the optimize entry and exit, it only adjusts the exit to line up with the next one's entry. And so if you watch it sew out, if you're like, okay, how does it sew out? And it's like, so they're all actually connecting there. But the first one started there. So when the first one sews, it's got a whole extra double ply that the other one does. So the point is, you need to select the first one and move its entry point to match up with its exit point. And then the first one will be a single ply. And then you take the last one and you check its entry and exit, and you move its exit to line up with its entry. Now, this one I don't have to worry about because it's not technically the last one. It's the last one is the very last one, right? Because it was, in other words, until you get to this one. And that one there, once again, see, there's where it starts, and we just want to make it finish where it started. Otherwise, that is what happened on the, where's the little one that, that one. Bring me big again, Nick. That's what I'm saying. So that's how you avoid that little extra bit that it ran. Can you now almost see it? It ran to the stop point of the last circle. That was the last purple circle that sewed of a whole group. That was the first pink one right beside it. So the first pink one I had to fix, and the last purple one I had to fix. And then, so that's how to do it. Anyways, this stuff is easy to do. Let's see if we can. We're almost at the top of the hour, Loren. It goes by so fast.
It does.
I want to do another one because circles are not like, that's just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. The other one I made for you was with the bird, right? I just took the bird. Basically, if the bird was a run stitch, and you selected that and hit your circle tool and started adding birds, and at some point you're like, that is just a lot of birds, Trevor. And then you can play with the size of the birds to play with, how much they have their overlaps. And then you can play with the angle of the birds.
Yeah.
And
now
it's
their
like,
tail sticking out.
oh my goodness. What the heck?
Wow.
So this is so interesting that there's just with this one bird, there's probably a gazillion different like options that we could do. Now it's really big when I do it like that because it says it's like here it's measure in inches. It's like 10 inches. So maybe that's the back of the jean jacket. But if you want to make it small, just come in here and say let's make it 4. Click apply. It's going to size it down to 4.
Now,
it's like
stitches,
2,800 stitches. That's not a lot of stitches.
Convert
That's not a lot of stitches for everything. It converts perfect.
Yeah.
It'll maintain the stitch length, whether it's big or small. Sometimes I go, you know what? These don't even need to be that. I might make them a little longer. So I'll make it 3 instead of 2.5. And now it's down to 2,500. Oh, and there was one more tip that I needed to give everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what it is?
No.
What do you have to do when you got 48 segments that all connect?
You have to turn the tie-ins on and off.
Yes, because if you don't, so when that circle goes around, the one that we just made, at the end of every circle, it puts 3 or 4 extra stitches.
That's the tie-in and tie-off.
Yeah, and so they end up all kind of and if you watch it, you'll see it. It'll be like do a circle, do a circle, do a circle, and it's just you can see them, especially if they all just happen to be going along the inner circle, you might not notice them, but if that spot was actually in the middle of the line or something, it would make like a little dark spot on it, the tie off, right? That's why bring me big one more time here, Nick, and then I'll show how to do it. That's why when you look at this, the purple line looks like it has a little bit of a knob at the end of it. The knob is the extra stitches that we're talking about, the tie off and the tie in. So the point is, if you're going to do segment, 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 and they're all touching each other, you don't really need them to tie off and tie in between each one. We connected them with that optimize entry exit. Maybe. So all that said, bring me big. Thank you last time, Nick. We'll get it. So I basically have to select this whole thing, like all of it. Just grab my select tool and draw a box to select all of it. And then here in the properties box, it's the red X and O, it stands for connections or commands, I guess is what it says, commands. But I can come in here and tell it to have no tie-in and no tie-off. And the Floriani software by default puts a tie-in and a tie-off on everything, because we figured last thing we want is somebody's embroidery to unravel. And the worst case scenario is there's a couple extra stitches in their design. Yeah. But when you know what you're doing, and when you're doing quilting style embroidery or run stitch style embroidery, sometimes those stitches are unnecessary. Yeah. And because I use that, whatever.
So would you say, because the colors split up, the pink and the orange, would you say to do your tie-in and tie-offs based off of the color islands?
Yeah, you're right. So technically, now that I turned them all off, to do it to the best, I would select the very first one and turn on a tie-in.
Just the tie-in, though.
Just the tie. I don't need the tie. But then take number 12 and give it a tie off, because that is the end of a color and you kind of want it to tie off before it trims the thread. So then you go to 13 and you add the tie in, and so technically
that's what you were talking about. If you know what you're doing, that's the extra step.
Thank you for pointing out, and I love that you were here.
That's the tie-in.
Oh wait, yeah.
Sorry.
I love that you're here.
Backseat digitizing.
I got a brain when I'm talking. I love it. Thank you for helping me today. Thank you for coming today, Loren, and joining. Thank you, Nicholas, for quietly manning the station back there. We appreciate you.
Maybe like what should I digitize next week? Am I digitizing flowers?
Well, you can decide, but I said it was going to be flowers. So,
okay, I'll do a flower.
you can decide what you're interested
Yeah.
in. But I like the one that you did already, that purple one with the applique.
The new purple one.
Yeah. That new purple one's a lot like the one that we'll talk about it next week, but we're kind of at the top of the hour, I see here now. And so it was fun digitizing when chatting with you today, Loren.
Yes.
I'm just going to check in with, so there's, quite a few people here following us today. And so thank you very much to Donna, Candy, and Rhonda. Rhonda says it looks like shark fins. Was that the bird? Was that when I did the bird spirograph? Where's the bird spirograph? That's one of the stitch outs here.
It's right there.
That's the bird that's the one that I made and stitched. And this is one of the ones that's in your download. There's a few in there, but this is also one of them.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is so simple, right? Like that's just, now that you've seen me do it, how easy is that, right? Good job. If you're a member of Workshop 4, and hopefully everybody is, your challenge is to make some of these and send them to me for the challenge showcase class, which is on May the 7th. Yes. So you have a little over a week to get that homework done. But I see lots of names in here that I know are members. And so thank you guys very much. In the meantime, if you have any questions for me ever, you can always email me, trevor@sunsetstitches.com. I will check after class today, check in with the comments on YouTube and Facebook, and reply to any that I need to. So thank you guys very much for commenting today. I guess we're looking forward to next week, Loren. We're going to have Loren in the house next week, and I'll let Loren do the digitizing, and I'll sit back and enjoy.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Until then, you guys, I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you so much for attending this week. Happy day.
Happy day.